Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we get started, before we hop onto these charts on this beautiful Tuesday, February 10th, make sure you view us on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links to codes in my content, like Top Up Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Chat, what's going on, man? Good to be back with you guys. I had a couple of days off here, off of the desk. If you guys were following me on IG or in Discord or really any of the socials, you will know that I was spending some time with my family, specifically my pops and my sisters, down for a birthday trip, man. Got to do a little fishing in the Keys, which was very, very fun. Running some go-karts, got to go down to the zoo, you know, all that fun stuff, man. But we got some stuff to talk about here, guys. We got some stuff to talk about in the prop firm world. And I'm staying out of the drama. I'm not for the drama at all. I'm not for any of that BS. Try to miss me with that negativity. But I do think it's really important to talk about changes at specific firms, changes to the prop firm space in general, so we can continue to see like how we want to assess this. What is the risk that we want to take on in this ever-changing space? But before we even get into that, as we get started early here, good morning everybody. Good morning Mehid NQ. Good morning It's Me Trades. Good morning Ankill FX. You guys know your crazy names. Dwayne, what's up? Solus of Zero, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Good to be on with you guys nice and early. I am running the early stream, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, all the way through NYSE Open for the next couple days. That's what we're running, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week, I'll talk about next week's schedule. Before we even get started talking about prop firms, which I will before the market opens up, just want to let you guys know I am on, as almost everybody is now, on a Tradeovate account. No more Project X with my Top 1 Futures Live account. This is my Top 1 Futures Live account logged into TradingView. I have a Tradeovate chart pulled up on the right-hand side as well, just on a second screen for me. But I am now off of Project X completely, at least with Top 1 Futures. There's only one firm, which we're going to talk about today, that is still running Project X accounts, which is TopStep. Most of the other firms should be getting moved over to Tradeovate pretty dang soon, coming into the end of this month, if they haven't already started transitioning people over. Just wanted to note one thing before I hop into talking about some of the craziness going on in the prop firm space, man. We do have, turn this off. We do have some news coming up today. Come on. We got some news coming up today, Tuesday, February 10th. We have 8:30 a.m. retail sales, unemployment cost index, core retail sales. That could definitely provide some movement in these markets just to go through the rest of the week. We have non-farm employment, unemployment, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. That's likely to be a big mover. And then we have unemployment claims on Thursday, the 12th, 8:30 a.m. That should be a big mover, as well as CPI on Friday. That should be a pretty big mover as well. So we do have some news. I'd say today, lightest out of all of these coming up. The rest of those 8:30 a.m. hits should be pretty big. I would expect movement the 8:30 a.m. time frame the next 3 days, remainder of this week. So I would definitely be cautious of that, but we will have to remind ourselves that 8:30 a.m. coming up in about 45 minutes, we do have some red folder news that could certainly provide some volatility coming into this open. Right now, looking at YM on the 15-minute chart, but I did definitely just want to hop into what we have going on in the prop firm space, man. Let me see if I can pull up. Like, we really didn't even get emails on this one yet, man. It's developing so quickly. Let me see if I could pull up something from them on this. Hang on one second, guys. No, yeah, their socials are like all over the place. So, essentially what we've got going on, guys, is Top Step, right? Top Step, who I am not partnered and affiliated with, and I always like to be transparent. I am biased. I'm partnered and affiliated with Top One Futures and other firms, other software companies, so I can't be unbiased. We got a lot of changes coming out of Top Step and other firms in the prop firm space, futures prop firm space. Specifically, the big ones that we've seen last week into this week on Top Step were limiting trading on metals, right? Big run on metals. So they've limited trading on metals. They've really halted it altogether on the mini contracts, and then they've reduced it and got more restrictive 2 times on the micro contracts. We saw a lot of emails go out about hedging and accounts getting banned. We saw a lot of people get moved to live accounts sooner rather than later, right? They've been pretty structured with that. We saw a price increase from them and a change to what their program looks like in general as far as a pricing standpoint. And then now, I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, I'm seeing a ton of information on their live program changing, completely changing. They now have an intraday trailing drawdown, daily loss limit on their live accounts. You don't have access to all of your capital when you get moved live. You don't get moved live with maybe all of it. There's like different brackets that you get moved into, 50K, 100K, 150K. And it's retroactive on the live program. So, again, I'm not here to throw stones. That's not at all what like my game plan is with ever. I'm just here to try to talk objectively. I've been talking about this a lot over the last year, last months, last weeks. I've been telling you guys that this is their court, prop firms, the markets in general, like brokers. At any point, the odds can shift in their favor because it's their court. It's their ball. It's their hoop. They could say, we're tired of getting dunked on. We're raising this hoop up. And that's exactly what they did. So, I think weigh the risks of this yourself. Understand that this space is going to continue to change. It's going to continue to move very, very quickly. And, nobody is immune to that. If you asked me, hey, Zach, you have an option to bet on Top Step having a retroactive rule change in their live accounts, I would have said, no way. Absolute zero chance of that. I will put a huge bet against that. If you said you could bet on Top Step retroactively changing a rule change and them raising prices and a platform melt, like I would have said no, right? Even me, who's been here for years, right? Like, but that's just a demonstration of there's a lot of uncertainty here, guys. A lot of uncertainty across all of the biggest prop firms, right? This space continues to change. Prop firms are a risk in general. I say that being partnered and affiliated and trading one with you guys here today. Weigh this stuff for yourself, man. Understand that this space changes quickly, very quickly. All of the firms have changed rules. There's not a single one that has not changed rules. Many of them retroactively, right? So, weigh the risks for yourself. Look at what's going on at each individual firm. As annoying as it is to do this, I think it's really important to do this and decide, hey, like, I'm comfortable with what's going on here. I'm going to keep trading accounts. I'm going to keep buying them aggressively. Or, hey, this is changing. The opportunity as of yesterday and the day before and last week with multiple firms has changed completely, right? Like, I'm going to buy this account. I'm going to trade towards XYZ. That path is completely different, so is that something you still want to put your money at? So some of them change for the better, some of them change for the worse. But what I would leave you with is try to recognize that almost everybody in this space, including myself, is biased, right? Meaning we are partnered, affiliated. We have money coming in from one or more or different that is going to influence, what we say, right? That is just a matter of fact, okay? So maybe you listen to guys like me. Maybe you want to hear what I have to say because I try to speak transparently and objectively and as unbiasedly as I possibly can. I kind of try to shoot straight from the hip. But even with me and everybody else, you have to understand that I've got to form my own decision. I have to take this information, look at what's going on, not just listen to somebody yapping on YouTube, even myself included, and make a decision for what's good for me, right? What does this risk look like to me? Because I don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe the CEOs even a little bit, but I don't even think they know. You know, so you know, take these risks as you will, guys, but man, it is really important. Really, really, really important. You know, I think like you can view what you think happened here, right? Like, let's go through it just real quick. A timeline of like the one firm that we're all talking about here today, which is the one that's making all the changes, right? So Top Step, they've been the leader in the space. They've been the biggest and the baddest. They really originated here 12 years ago, right? Or 13 years ago. They started the prop firm industry, right? Credit where it's due. One of the most aggressive programs. It's still extremely aggressive. It's still one of the most competitive eval programs out there. Still is, even at the prices with all of the rule changes. It really still is. But let's look at like what happened. So they kind of nerfed all their affiliates. They really changed their entire program there. They cut their roster completely. We saw that across Top Step TV. They launched Project X. Then they said, hey, nobody else can have Project X. Right at the same time, Project X really had a lot of issues, complete issues. It melted down. I think I'm fair to say that. It melted down into the end of last year. It was outages almost every single week. Now, coming into this year, metals went crazy. Silver, gold, platinum, they were trading at a relative volatility that was just unheard of, insane. And what did that provide to traders? The opportunity to run up a huge bag, right? To absolutely run up accounts. It just was not possible given the contract sizing, right? You know, before on other instruments, given the volatility. So they were probably not quick enough to change relative to their program. And what did we see? We saw this. It's not my opinion. We saw the largest P&Ls across individual accounts that I've ever seen. I saw guys with $200,000 in one day in XFAs. It was insane. You know, so then what did we see out of them? Restriction on metals in live accounts, then restriction in sim accounts, then further restriction. Then we saw a email go out mass banning people for hedging. Tons of people. They said it was a very small amount, but I know a ton of traders that said I'd have never hedged why would I hedge on one prop firm? It doesn't even make sense. Why would I try even to do that? Then we saw a ton of people get moved to a live program quickly, faster than they normally do. Then a price increase, and then a retroactive rule change in their live account, completely changing their live account program, right? So you know that doesn't look great. That to me it looks like what we saw. And again, I will also say a lot of other firms have also done that. A lot of other firms have also done that, right? So. Metals across. So I don't want to rant too far on this, guys, but you decide what that looks like for you. What do you think happened there? Why would they make these changes, right? So quickly and so rapidly? Why would they take on so much heat? Decide that for yourself. I'll leave the obvious out there for you to decide. So that's kind of the thought. I don't want to go on ramble on it for too long, but guys, this space is changing extremely quickly this week. Be cautious. Be very, very cautious. Anything can happen. Like, again, if you asked me, last thing, if you asked me if any of this stuff would happen, I'd say absolutely not. You're out of your mind. No way. Not a chance, man. That's not on the table for these guys. No way. It's happening. So, take that as you will. Let's get ready to talk markets, guys. I wanted to get into that for sure. Thank you, Zach, for sure. Top Step, Top 1, Tradeify, take a payout, small 3. No longer use Top Step yet. Yeah. Probably MP, Crazy Rich, planning to sell the firm, close shop. Maybe. You can speculate. They opened up Top Step brokerage as well. People say trading is difficult. Simultaneously, firms changing rules. Yeah. Are they losing money then? You decide that for yourself. Top 1 fan? Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the most transparent traders. Yeah, I try, guys. Caught the short, now waiting. Very nice. This action is weird. Zach, do you find your VWAP is at different levels on Tradeivate compared to TradingView? I don't know, Dwayne. I have not compared my VWAP on TradingView against Tradeivate, but I did compare it against Project X. And once I realized I was on different time frames, that it is the same. It is the same. It should be the same. Yeah, server issues. Yeah, I think Tradeivate will deal with it. I do think Tradeivate will deal with that. Good morning, good morning. What's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Welcome to the show. What's up, everybody? the nice early stream. Let's get to the markets, man. So I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I'll tell people to go back here if they ask what I think about what's going on in the prop firm space. You know, again, I'm not speaking negatively. I'm not talking down on anything. I'm just trying to speak objectively on what's going on. You know, we've also seen metals be restricted at other firms, multiple other prop firms, not all. I would expect more of them to reduce contract and sizing and leverage on, you know, trading metals if this volatility continues. But I think we're going to continue to see changes as we have from all firms all the way through, you know, as far as they go back. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk markets here as we get ready for the 8 a.m. time frame. Happy to be on nice and early with you guys. We are here on YM on the daily chart. I want to take a little look. Just get a little feel. I've been off the desk completely for the last 2 trading days, Friday and Monday. I did get some little mobile trading in, put some profit in some sim accounts, but nothing in the Top 1 Futures live account here. Big push out of YM. Just out of curiosity, did we get this out of ES? No. Did we get this out of NQ? No, we did not. No, we did not. So YM cracked all-time highs, pushed to the upside. Again, I'm still going to be looking at YM on the 15-minute chart for majority of my trades. I'm not changing that up just yet on my Top 1 Futures live account. I'm going to be looking at NQ. Metals are going to be pretty much off the table for now. We'll be looking at NQ in some of these sim accounts that I'm trading live with you guys like we were on Thursday, excuse me. But big pop to the upside here. Nice big rocket candle here on is this Friday? On Friday, yeah, 1,560 point candle, almost 3.25% move out of YM here on Friday. Not much yesterday at all. Pretty tight range relative to everything we've seen down here yesterday. 431 point candle, and now, or right now for pre-market, we have not swept prior day high here. We're opening up to the downside. Let's drill down a little bit more. So yeah, strong uptrend, man, just continuing to drive higher. Yesterday, choppy back and forth session. We sold off quite a bit. Nothing too crazy here. Sold off quite a bit. Not even to the top end of this consolidation. This big range that we were putting in January. Just dipped down and came right back up. Let's see when that happened. Yeah, right at 9:30 a.m. Classic mean reversion play, right? Sold off really aggressively, popped right back up through VWAP. Put our volume point of control in right here, and now we have a very tight range right here. Very tight range forming so far for pre-market, under 200 points. That's crazy. Right at volume point of control from the previous couple days, so we're just sitting up here around the 50,200s, kind of trading back and forth. This is going to be a little interesting, man. Oftentimes, after continuing to push to the upside, right, cracking all-time highs, what do? We pull back. Interested to see if we get that today. I do think we could just continue to push, especially if everybody else wakes up and decides to drive higher. But for right now, we are choppy back and forth through Asia, London, right? Just objectively looking at this, not sweeping prior day high or low. Breaking to the downside right now. 30 minutes to red folder news is probably going to kick us into gear. I could see, a really near-term level right back down here towards the 50,000 evens, back down towards this level right in here. Maybe we want to test that, kind of the low end of pre-market and even into the afternoon from yesterday. Not quite all the way down to the session and daily low here. Yeah, for the open up and trade NYSE open, I'm going to wait to see. I'm definitely going to wait to see. It's too early to tell. I don't need to guess what's going to happen over the next hour and a half and then decide what I want to do from there. I could just wait for that. If I had to take a trade on YM pre-market, I'd be taking a long pretty soon. I'd be looking to long it in here. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. A little pre-market long. 8:30 a.m. news, so definitely don't want to do anything too crazy. If I had to take something, that's probably what I'd be looking at. But yeah, I think we can do a lot today. We do have news later this week, man. We are coming again into, let's take a look at this calendar just to get some context, right? Coming into NFP. NFP tomorrow, pre-NFP. So expectations are going to be pretty low today, man. This could be the volatility of the morning. And then with this on the news roster for tomorrow and then Thursday and Friday, a lot of news. What do we often get, right? Here's the little bit of the fundamental context. I'm not a fundamental trader. I don't try to decide what core retail sales was forecast and previous and what it should be and then how price is going to move and I'm going to get long or short. I don't do that. I just go, well, we got NFP and unemployment and CPI later this week, and today's Tuesday. Maybe I could expect some chop. Maybe I think there's slightly more opportunity for a shitty, choppy day. Excuse my language, YouTube. A slow-moving, choppy back-and-forth day, right? Where we don't break and run, right? Can we break and run? Sure. And maybe that bias doesn't help you. Maybe using that context is not going to help you because you just want to be fully technical. Totally understand that. For me, I'm going to use just a little bit, right? I apply discretion, intuition. I know what pre-big news days often look like. Not always. Anything can happen. Trump can come on here and start talking about, you know, whatever he wants to talk about, and the market can rip 1,000 points again, right? For the most part, what happens ahead of, you know, big red folder news days, you know, maybe the day before where we have no news, although we do have news today. Maybe a little bit more room for chop. A little bit more probability for a choppy, consolidating, rangy day. I will try to play to that to the best of my abilities without creating too much of a bias around that, but I'll also have lower expectations. I am not going to come into today super aggressive, looking to trade the same way where maybe we're post NFP, FOMC, CPI, unemployment, right? You know, all these big red folder news events. Once we're past those, what do those days sometimes look like? Larger, extension, trending to the upside, big retracements to the downside, right? You know, market has digested that news, however we want to frame it and tell ourselves, you know, what's happening. Just post those events, right? With that context. Oftentimes we see the bigger movement. That can be really powerful. Just what I'm talking about here, guys, can be really, really helpful. That can make or break a trader. So, you know, backtest that stuff for yourself. I talked about it a lot 2 weeks ago. I really tried to give you guys some homework to do. It played out really nicely. You know, decide how you want to handle things like this, right? Decide what news site you're going to look at every morning. I think that's a no-brainer. I don't think anybody would make a case to say don't look at any news site. That really wouldn't make any sense. When is the news? What happens before, during, and after? You know, how can you use that to your advantage? So, coming into, let me get rid of this. Coming into 8:30 a.m. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Again, if I had to take a trade on YM, it'd be a long. It would be a long. Let's go ahead and take a look at our good friend NQ. NQQQ. Let's hop out to the daily first. Chat. Let's see what you guys have going on here. I don't mean to not read the chat. I'll try to bounce back and forth a little bit more. What is going on, guys? What's going on? Trying to long ES here. Nice, nice. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Man, Friday made 9K longs on YM. Wow. My funded account, but challenge. That's usually how it goes. Smash the like button for Z Money. Appreciate you guys. Wish I held my short longer. Damn. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Yeah, feel free to smash the like button. Smash subscribe. Do whatever you want to do, man. I'm going to be here trading live with you guys almost every damn day. 100% free. And we got a bunch of people on today. Welcome to the show, chat. Appreciate you guys hopping on, man. Yeah, early morning streams, right? Now I got lower competition on here. I'm not gonna say I'm doing anything too crazy. Just hopping on before everybody else hops on. Big surprise. There's nobody else streaming, so you guys are stuck with me. Appreciate you hopping on though, man. Well, thanks for being here. If you are watching across YouTube, Kick, X, Twitter, wherever you're watching from, I'm just taking a quick look, try to make sure everybody's good. Yeah. If you want to hop in the 100% free trading community, just to plug it, I run a free Discord. $3.99, man. I'm mostly yapping about what we got going on for live streams. Maybe some extra giveaways, maybe some extra fun stuff that we got rolling there. But feel free to hop in. If you're on Twitter, link is in my bio if you want to hop on. RealDealFutures.com. So, let's go ahead and take a look at NQ, man. Higher time frame zones on NQ looking pretty clean. I had some stuff to the downside here. Those played out really... Were these hindsight levels? Nah, bro. Look at Friday. Friday with the clean bounce off the zone from last week. Push to the upside. Breaking and retesting this little level right here. Kind of similar structure to what we see out of YM this morning for the last couple days. Obviously not nearly as bullish. YM pushing all-time highs on this Friday candle here. NQ and ES looking a whole lot slower. NQ being the weakest out of all of these now. Surprising. These have all seemed to live in their own world. Last couple weeks for sure. Not nearly as tight trending together. Looking at the 15-minute just to get a frame of reference. See if I want to draw any other levels out. I do. Let me try the 30 or the 1 hour just to try to like get the amount of price action and structure I want to see here. Yeah, I'd be curious if we pop to the upside if we don't come all the way back in here. But maybe in here first. Let me just try some levels. Let me just see what we got. Let me just see what we got here, guys. Marking up some levels, tops and bottoms, some areas of interest. Just wanted to see where this high was. But we got some tops and bottoms in here. That's looking a little tighter. Yeah, that's looking like an interesting spot, right? Coming back and forth, all these areas consolidation, zooming out on the 1 hour. Try to get some key levels in here that I want to pay attention to. Obviously, this bad boy up here is pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple of zones. A couple of random rectangles. That's all they are, guys. Remember, whatever you define as an area of interest on your chart does not hold any predictive power. Gives you a good way to structure risk, right? Maybe can give you a point where you feel you will be dead wrong or dead right. If I had to draw something off the 1 hour, that's where I mark a zone really up above this high here. You can see tested multiple times, support and resistance, supply and demand, order block, whatever crazy name you want to call a random gray rectangle on the chart. I like to mark them off of areas of high volume as well. You can see this one is the temporary volume point of control. This bad boy is kind of going back and forth, not as much, but I do like this area of interest. I think if we got up above this, I'd be watching this level next. I think, you know, we could potentially wick up here coming into the open. So I'm interested to see what happens at these areas. This one came into play. Not as strong as something like that. Not as strong as something like that. But I said we were going to start to take some scalpy style trades, start to frame some, start to try to build an edge live with you guys around scalping NQ in pre-market here. Gonna look to continue to do that. So, you know, right now, same context that we talked about on YM. Pretty choppy back and forth. Overall, this is a pretty choppy back and forth Asia-London session. We did open up and push to the upside, clean retest of VWAP, and then push all the way up here through about 7:30, right? Yeah, 7:30 a.m. Turned on a dime here. We've sold off, you know, pretty nicely to the downside. Been watching average true range, ATR, measure of volatility here on NQ on the 1 minute chart to get a little bit more of a feel for that. We're sitting at 11 right now. Interesting to watch that. So I might load up another sim account, either a funded or an eval, and trade this with you guys, get some scalp trades in. Remember, full disclosure, if you want to go back and hop in my Discord, you know, I talk about what I do, why I do it. I got a higher time frame swing based approach with discretion and volume and market structure that pays me very well. For multiple reasons, I'm looking to get more aggressive on the lower time frames. I'm going to stay with this for a while, guys. My expectations on my results doing this are very low. I expect to get cooked some days. I expect it to go really well other days. You know, I'm going to do it in sim accounts, not in my own personal live accounts, not in the Top 1 Futures live account, because I don't have, you know, as much proven consistency on different instruments across different time frames, scalping really aggressively during different times of the day, right? If you decide one day you want to start scalping at 2 a.m. your time, right, whenever that is for you, maybe you don't throw your normal amount of risk on the line. Maybe you back it off a little bit, you know, for whatever that means for you. For me, that's really aggressive in sim accounts, right? You know, maybe for you it's on demo. Maybe for you it's not aggressive at all. It's one cheap eval, right? You know, for somebody else, maybe it's $10,000 in a live account because they usually trade with $100,000 risk per trade, right? There's levels to this. So, you know, it just comes down to capital allocation, risk tolerance, experience, you know, those types of things. So as we're pushing lower here, yeah, let me go ahead and get loaded up on, how do I want to run this? Yeah, let me get loaded up on like an eval or something, guys. Hang tight with me. Hang tight with me, Chatty McChat. Yeah, you know what I'll do? Because I can't log into multiple things at the same time. Let me go ahead and log in. Let me throw this up on the screen for now, guys. Let me go ahead and log in. Let me go ahead and... Well, I'll throw this one up on the screen for now, guys. We're trading live here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. If you want to stay updated on all of the fun stuff that we have going on, feel free to hop in the 100% free trading Discord. I'll try to always keep you guys updated. But let me go ahead and get another account loaded up here because I was in my live account and I don't want to trade that for pre-market, especially coming into news here. But I want to have some fun with you guys and continue to try to build an edge. So build an edge doing this at least. I'm confident in my edge doing a whole lot of other things. Let me do this. Yeah, I just don't want to inadvertently display a password on the screen, and that would be pretty bad. So let me try to not do that. Hang tight, guys. But I wanted to make sure, the reason I did that was I wanted to make sure I could get logged in because today will be my first day trading the Top 1 Futures live account, which was moved over from Project X to Tradeovate. As you guys know or don't know, maybe you're new here, Project X is cooked across all prop firms except for Top Step. You should, whatever prop firm you're on, you should be transitioning over to Tradeovate. So if you have active accounts, you know, you're going to be kicked over to Tradeovate pretty soon, or at least you should be preparing for that. So let me go ahead and load up a... What are we going to do here? Let's do an eval. Let's start with an eval. This is going to be an eval that is halfway to pass from Take Profit Trader. I've been trading some evals with those guys as well. Again, like I talked about, want to trade a lot of different sim accounts aggressively, get comfortable trading on Tradeovate, see if we can't get some more experience trading even more prop firms, right? There's so much changing across all of them. I got to have my hands on to be able to give a review to you guys, right? I don't want to talk about other firms unless I'm in there myself in the thick of it, you know, trading with you guys. So here, cool. We are loaded back up. Whoa, we are loaded back up. Same screen, right? We are here, same marked up chart on NQ. This is now just not my Top 1 Futures live account. This is a Take Profit 50K eval that is halfway to pass. Has 1,500 bucks in it. Go ahead and make sure I also am logged into Tradeovate. Hang tight, hang tight. Sorry, just want to make sure I got everything kosher here. Watching for a potential sweep down below these lows and look for a long. It's kind of what I'm feeling on this one. Continue that kind of choppy movement. Let's see. Okay. cool. We're gonna be looking at NQ, cool. Yeah. So guys, again, what I like to do here, is, you know, I'm on obviously TradingView right here, right? If you're connecting Trade-O-Vate with TradingView, it could also be helpful to load up a Trade-O-Vate chart on a second window, just so you could double check, just so you could watch yourself enter here and see it be executed. You know, maybe you want to use their exit and cancel all buttons that we don't really have on TradingView here, as far as I'm aware. I don't know that we have that. Oh, we probably want to hop on MNQ for this as well. Yeah, probably gonna hop on MNQ. Let's see, right? Here's the fun part about TradingView that we were talking about. You could use this nice drag out, take profit, and stop loss orders, right? We talked a lot about this. Maybe you say, hey, I want to get long with a stop below here and a take profit here. With 1 minute, like, maybe that's way too much for me. Maybe you say, nah, Zach, I scalp the 1 minute chart. I trade with, you know, stop loss below prior bar low, and, you know, we come right in here, and that could work. You know, I don't see that as much of a problem. But for me, yeah, we can scalp pretty aggressively on the minis. We can play with this for now. Let's do that. Let's play with this for now. But let's get a little bit of focus going on here, guys. Let's get a little bit of focus going on here. For what I'm doing here on NQ, scalping really aggressively, guys, very discretionary, very price action and market structure focused, right? I'll try to articulate what I'm doing to the best of my abilities, but it's certainly going to be less easy to follow than something like YM, where I'm on the 15-minute chart and I'm marking out a level above, a level below, I'm waiting for it to get hit. I'm running a really similar, you know, stop loss and take profit. I'm holding the damn trade all day. I have forever to talk about it. I'm not gonna have that much. I'm not gonna have that much, you know, flexibility here on NQ, scalping really aggressively. But I'm enjoying getting a lot of trades on for no other reason, than to get comfortable trading on TradingView, Trade-O-Vate, coming off of Project X. So coming up here to test VWAP, let's run the NQ. Let's run NQ's book map here over on the left-hand side. I do love to run that if I'm going to take some really aggressive scalpy style trades. Yeah, let's see what like really tight looking stop losses and take profit would look like. Again, nice benefit of TradingView is you have this order card where you can say, hey, I want to see what like a 75, you know, tick stop loss and a 75 tick take profit look like today. Wow, cool, based on the volatility, right? Interesting, you know, interesting to see. Maybe you say, hey, I want to look what, you know, a dollar amount would look like or a percent amount would look like. You could use that. Thursdays, I won't go through that in too much detail. Thursday's live session, we went through a lot of the differences trading with different order types, the order cards, things you could do, the functions, you know, of this. Yeah, curious to see if we get a little bit of a retest here. I'm looking for a potential short around VWAP. If we popped like right up here, we did test this low and we're pulling back on it. I'm gonna look for some of these little scalpy style trades, you know, close to a 1-to-1 take profit and stop loss. I don't have to run that yet. Close to a 1-to-1 take profit and stop loss. Again, scalping price action and market structure. Trying to flow with the trend, the overall context. Are we chopping back and forth in a big range, kind of like we are today? Okay, maybe I think that might continue. Are we selling off really aggressively? Maybe I want to try to flow with that to the bottom of this, you know, higher time frame range. We coming back up to a key level here, temporary volume point of control that's forming today on the current volume profile and VWAP. Maybe I think we're going to find some sellers here. We might dip above and then come back down and check out some lows, right? Trading off of the volume profile as well in conjunction with just basic price action and market structure. See if we can't make some money doing that. Again, discretionary, price action, market structure based, right? Let's see. There's something pretty cool I was playing with here as well, right? they had something that was, I don't want to get too distracted here. Ah, there we go. Offset. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool, right? I was talking about TradingView lagging a lot, right? And this was pretty interesting. Yeah, here's what I was going for, which I'm missing my trade right now, but that's okay. This is important. And something we didn't talk about on Thursday. You can set a limit order, right? By individual price or price offset. Bid or ask based on if you're buying or selling, right? Or if you want to be above or below price. You can set, for example, a limit order bid plus 4, right? There's the beautiful quick short that I wanted off of VWAP, but I'm yapping too much and getting comfortable on TradingView, which is why we're in an eval, right? You can set a limit order bid plus 4, maybe like, bid plus 1 or just at the bid, right? That could be cool because it could get you a little bit better fill. Now, you could get missed completely. This could not get filled, but rather than doing a market order where like you could see the market order is like trying to keep up with price as it's moving, you could throw, for example, on a short, I'll enter pretty soon here. This was the play, but maybe you could throw a bid plus 5, and that's going to try to trail current price about 5 ticks above, right? 5 ticks above current price. And you could still use your bracket, take profit and stop loss orders. And maybe that gives you like a little bit of an advantage over using a market order on TradingView, which seems to like lag a little bit here behind price, especially when it comes to using a market order to enter. Upside, you probably will get a fill, better by a few ticks if you use that. Double-edged sword, downside, it's going to enter a limit order, and if price starts moving away right away, you won't get filled. You don't, it's not guaranteed for you to get filled right there, especially the farther away you go with this. Like you're much more less likely to get filled if you're bid plus 10 or something, right? You would have to have 10 points move, to the upside if you're going to sell limit. But I thought like bid plus 2, bid plus 4, during some slower moving markets would be pretty cool. Maybe bid plus like 10 during really fast moving markets would be pretty cool to test out. So I'm curious to see that. I don't want to play with that today. You could edit that by doing this up here. You have to use a limit. You can't do it with a market, obviously. Market is just a market order. Limit plus a offset by number of ticks is what we're doing here, right? So kind of cool. Again, just to demonstrate it, if you were like, just like, let's say like 20 ticks above, you could see it's trailing price, current price, 20 ticks above, right? 20 ticks above current price action. So, or the area that price is currently trading, the number. But yeah, that was the little scout that I was getting ready for with a short here. Now I don't know. Now I'm gonna wait. But that was cool, and I want to. It was something I played with a little bit in other accounts. I just completely did not talk about it at all on Thursday. So definitely something I wanted to touch on. We got about 5 minutes to red folder news, guys. I think it'd be pretty dicey to YOLO into a news trade here, so I'm probably gonna chill. This is what I was looking for right up here. Test of VWAP, test of this area for a quick short. We can see how something like that would have played out, at least on this individual trade. Maybe with a 40 tick take profit, 40 tick stop loss, something like that, right? Entering right here off of VWAP would have been super clean. Maybe a little bit late to the party, still would have been a W. But we'll see. Probably going to wait for this news to print, 8:30 a.m. coming up in about 5 minutes. Before I look to jump into anything too crazy. I also don't know if I'm supposed to be trading news on this account or if that's not allowed. Should probably know that. Data in 5 minutes. Don't forget, yes, the rest of the week looks bullish. Past month we have been crazy for sure. Morning, Cyrus. What's going on? Check out Thursday's stream. I remember correctly. He explained it completely how to set that up on TradingView. Morning, Zach. How come you have the drag stop loss? Yes, Tom Ward. I did explain it on Thursday's stream. This is something a lot of people wanted to know. I'll explain it again really clearly. Tom, let me know if you're in chat. I'll watch the YouTube chat. Tom Ward, if you're still here, man, just throw a yeah, I'm still here, and I'll do it again. Ooh, take profit trader Can't trade 1 minute before and after news. Zach Lazarus? Is that in evals or funded accounts only? Evals, funded accounts, pro plus accounts. Let me know. I thought you were okay in evals. I read the rules. I don't like to pretend like I'm somebody that doesn't read the rules, but this space changes so effing quickly that I feel like I gotta read the rules every single day. Not to joke around about it, but it's insane. Tom, you are here. So here's what you do, brother. You go to the funded only. Okay, great. How about live accounts? How about their pro plus accounts? Zach Lazarus. Let me know if you know the answer on that one. Tom, here's how you get to drag out. Tom asks, how come you have the ability to drag out stop loss orders? I definitely want to go stop loss above price on a buy. Stop loss orders on a market, and I don't, right? How do you get this set up, guys? Here's how you do that. Go to settings. You can go to settings, multiple areas. You can click settings up here. You can right-click on the chart. By right-clicking on the chart, well, I can give you a thumbs up. You can right-click on the chart, come down here to settings. And then in the trading section, right, you can click on multiple different things. In the trading section, scroll down and project order for market orders. Needs to be on, right? If I take this off, let's just do it. If I take this off and I click buy, I can't drag out my stop loss and take profit, guys. I can only mess with it on the order card. If I come back over here, go to settings, trading, project order for market orders, we have, boom, the ability to drag out stop loss and take profit. There's a whole bunch of other settings that you can adjust in there, obviously, right? If we come back over here, just to not get too distracted and do what we did on Thursday and not actually trade, you can see how your profit is lost is displayed, right? Money, ticks, percent, you know, so many different little things, sounds, one-click trading if you want that on, you know, notifications, executions on the screen. You know, you could play with that, right? You could play with that. I encourage you to test all of it. If you're coming from Project X or any other platform, I really encourage you to play with all of that. So anyway, guys, we got news coming up in 2 minutes. I am not going to trade that. Let's see what we get. This would have presented a nice little scalpy move to the downside. We'll see if we can't take some scalpy trades. We'll play with that bid +5, you know, limit deal. I think that's gonna be really cool to utilize on TradingView with the slight lag that we deal with. Maybe that'll ease some of the pain. We'll play with that. Man, thank you. I've been pulling my hair out trying to figure that out. I joined the live on Thursday a bit after you explained so bad. Oh, all good, Tom. Yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. One click has to be off as well, I think. Yes. Yeah, thanks, Pam. What's up, guys? What's up? Funded only. Yeah, we did say that you can't, just to be clear about this, guys, you can't drag out stop loss and take profit like this after you enter. Like, so say you didn't do it before, you just entered the market, you can't drag out take profit and stop loss from the position the way that you can on other platforms. You can add take profit and stop loss orders, but it's not going to be an OCO bracket, which is really important. So whether you're going to drag them out like this, right? Whether you're going to use the order card like this over here and enter them, you know, like this manually. If you're going to enter with a limit order, you know, at a specific price up here, you know, or I don't know why you would enter with a limit order on a buy above price. You wouldn't do that. You would use a stop. Maybe you're going to enter a limit buy. Set a take profit and stop loss order. You know, here's the news, guys. Set a take profit and stop loss order, you know, some way with that, right? This way, at very least, you have attached take profit and stop loss. Very important. I don't know why you would not. Well, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But you know, if you want an OCO bracket on TradingView or Tradeovate, you want to use the option to do that as you're entering the market. You don't want to try to do it after the fact by setting limit orders and stop orders, because we saw the risks associated with that. So movement to the downside here on NQ so far on this initial news. We got some red folder news playing out. Excuse me as I wake up. Yeah, glad we got through that. Glad we got through talking about that. If you guys have questions trading on TradingView, let me know. You know, on TradingView, Tradeovate, I'm gonna find it out live with you guys. I'm happy to be a guinea pig if I don't know the answer. But we played around a lot on Thursday, which was fun. I'm gonna test more things like I'm talking about today, right? Like this limit plus a price offset. I definitely would not want to enter limit plus minus. That wouldn't make sense for a short. But I want to play with that, right? I want to kind of see what this looks like if I get filled, how quickly price jumps around here, how quickly this, order is able to track. So far, some of the fills have been good. Some of them have been like not so good with this lag. So before I give up completely and just go straight from a trade of 8 chart, which I also tested a little bit off of the live sessions, I'm going to play with this a bit. See if I can't find some sauce for us to work with here. So yeah, let's see if we can't find a good trade, man. So we dip down to the downside here. I think we're likely to pop to the upside. I don't know that I would want to scalp anything really aggressively 2 minutes into news. I'm going to give this a little bit more time and then maybe look for a buy or a sell based on what the hell we're doing here. But I want to use this this little price offset thing. I'm going to play around with that. I've done it in my personal live accounts attached to TradingView. Seems to work pretty well, but I'm curious to see what it looks like on props. Yeah, so we sold off to the bottom end of this range, just to look at this. Sold off to the bottom end of this range. Tested down here a couple times. We broke down on news. Now it looks like we want to blast through VWAP. At least we're going to try. If we come up here and fail again, it could look like we want to move lower. So far, this looks like we want to push to the upside here. If we were going to enter a buy, playing around with this, I'd go ask minus a few. Definitely not going to work as well if you're someone that's buying into strength, right? Like buying into momentum with a limit order behind price. I think you will get left in the dust on some of those, right? Because price is just going to move up. You're going to have a limit order, 5, 6 ticks below price. And that's just not going to bode too well. But for something like reversal trading, something like this, something like coming back down to sweep this low, that could be pretty interesting to see. I think the next level I'm going to be looking at is this current value area high into this area of price action and market structure right here for a little bit of a pull back. If we can get that, I'd look for a quick short right off of this level here. You can see how we tested it multiple times at pre-market. You can see the visible range volume profile. You can see the session volume profile. You can see the level that I'm talking about, value area high. We might just do it right off of this, like this kind of peak in volume right here. But I'm going to look for it off of this level. Quick scalp trade to the downside if we pop up there. I don't know that we bounce right here, so I'm going to try it right off of here if we get it. Quick little scalpy boy, and I'm going to use this bid plus. Let me use this bid plus. If we revert right back down here, it's not going to be the same trade. It'd be like a little trade right off of this value area high. Yeah, let's try like bid plus 4 in this volatility. Let's see what that does for my day. Looks like we want to pull right back down on it from this level here. Yep. Pulling right back down off of this little peak right in here. This little area of high volume, not quite value area high for the day. Some price action and market structure in here. We just wanted to test that. We didn't want to come all the way up here and test this, at least for now. Pulling right back down on that. You can see what I'm trying to go for here on NQ. Kind of just these quick back and forth movements within the overall higher time frame movement, and even the the lower time frame movement, just kind of these back and forth, scalpy small movements. I think it can be pretty hard to get this going consistently, but it's something I'm going to work on for pre-market. I think there's some opportunity here. Almost wouldn't mind this for a buy coming up, unless we completely sell off. Let's get ready to test this on a quick buy. Why? I think we come back down, test this current temporary volume point of control, and bounce back up to these highs. I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback down here. Maybe a stop loss like out of that like 315 area would be pretty cool, unless we come all the way back in here. Let's see if we can pull down a little bit further on this one, or if we're just going to chop around up here around VWAP. Nope, right back up. Tighter price movements than what I'm waiting for, obviously. There's 50 points off of 50 ticks off of this low. It's actually 60 ticks. Let's see, man. Let's see if we can't get some scalpy movements in. If we come back here, I still would. If we come back up here, I still would look to short it. I don't like it as much. I don't like it as much now that we kind of pulled back, retested. We're really building some nice strength here. Higher lows coming in, higher high on a lower time frame over the last 20-30 minutes. I also do watch order flow over here on the left-hand side, right? Looking at big levels that come on and off the book. I want to be cautious for things like this, right? Definitely want to be cautious for things like this. I was looking at the 315s. Looked like they had some orders on it right off of these lows in here. That could be an interesting spot. But I do want to take a couple trades with this damn price offset before the market opens up. So I'm going to take a couple trades in here, guys. Again, low expectations here. It's not, you shouldn't have high expectations if you say, I want to take some trades to test some features on a platform. That's not being extremely patient and waiting for the market to come to you. That's setting a goal of doing something, and maybe that trumps actually waiting patiently for a setup to come. Do we blast right through these highs? I think we come back down. Let me try this, guys. Let me try this. Let's try like a bid +5 on a little short scalpy boy. Let's see. So I'm in bid +5. Oh, I didn't get filled. See, didn't get filled. Let's see. At least not yet. Oh, working against me on this one. Bid +5 didn't fill, and had I marketed in, that would have been an immediate take profit for 250 bucks. I'm gonna get rid of this now. But maybe a little bit too aggressive on the bid plus for for scalping in this volatility. I'm gonna get rid of this one right here. But again, what I'm doing for those of you guys that hopped on late, I'm playing around with this bid plus offset to try to compensate, honestly, a little bit for this like slow trading view lag. That would have been an immediate take profit on a market order. So strike one for this bid plus. Let's go for like bid +3 or bid +2. Obviously, you know, it depends on how volatile the market is, right? How quickly it's moving back and forth. But let's play around with this a little bit. Show you guys what this looks like in real time. Again, you're entering with a limit order, right? A limit order with a corresponding take profit and stop loss. So that downside that I described ahead of time that just played out is a real risk factor. If we pop to the upside, I'm still watching this an original level that I wanted to see for a short, kind of all the way up here through the 65s. But I think we probably wick lower here. It's kind of what I was shooting for with that first potential short. Let's see, coming into some orders on the book right here. I don't mean to not read the chat, but I'm gonna try to get a couple trades on with you guys. Ugh. Excuse me. ES kind of chopping around. YM was selling off. YM pushing back up to the upside. Nice, nice. Yeah, let's play with this one again. I don't know that I wanted out of this consolidation. I think we would just be playing a range here. I think we're likely to break to the upside or downside coming up here pretty soon. Looks like we want to try the highs again. Do we want to go run right towards these 365s? Kind of feels like it. There we go. We got some volume coming in, cracking above there. If we pull back, I'm going to go for a little buy on this one. I think we're likely to go try to grab these. Yeah, we're pulling back right here. I think we're likely to try and grab these. I want to test this thing out again. Watching book map over here on the. We got some orders to the downside in the 30s. Watching this thing just chop around, consolidate here. I think we break to the upside. I don't know if we go to the upside first. Looks like we might want to. Let's try a little limit -5 here. Let's see. There we go. We got tagged in on that one. We got a corresponding stop loss and take profit. I'm looking at this to crack right all the way up here towards these 65s. Don't know if we have to sweep all the way lower, but we did get tagged in that one. Almost left without me. Again, almost had the exact same thing happen where we saw that movement to the upside. Let's see how quickly I can go stop loss to break even as well. Just out of curiosity here. Yeah, that's an easy move. Stop loss to break even. You could drag it right up and then just hit confirm. You know, something like this right in here. Let's go for that. Stop loss to break even plus 2 ticks. You can do the same with take profit. You can move it wider, shorter, and then if you just drag it around, you could hit discard. You could also add in. You could add in and remove stuff. You could add more take profits and stop loss orders, right? Maybe I added in another contract here. I could limit sell another order up here as a take profit. Not too bad. Not too bad on TradingView. Hey, we got some orders coming on the book on NQ here, man. We got quite a bit up at least for this pre-market from what I've seen. We got quite a bit up here at 25,365. We got quite a bit at 25,425. And then even down below price, we got quite a bit all the way down here, 25,290s. So going to be interesting to see if any of these want to go and fill. I am curious. I'm curious to see. If you zoom in, you get a lot more granular view. You'll see a lot of these orders act like magnets where price wants to come to and from them. You know, what happens as we come to the upside, as we come to the downside. But interesting to play with this this bid plus or minus. I do like this. I like it, chat. I like this one. Oh, get out of there. There we go. We got a little take profit on that one. Take profit for 250 bucks on a little scalp to the upside. Again, nothing crazy. I'm really very low expectations. I'm not gonna pat myself on the back for a lot of wins. I'm not gonna shake my head for losses. I want to play around with this, like I said, but I'm gonna try to do it in a way that I would actually trade and not just do completely stupid stuff. So here we are up to this next level that I was looking at, or close to it, right in here. Here's what I'm curious to see. What happens as we come up to this level right here, right? Where's value area high? Right here. What happens as we come up to value area high? I'm interested on a little short from here. Let's get ready for it. Let's get ready for it. Let's run a bid plus 5 again. I'm waiting too long. Not quite quick enough and ready for it. But looking at value area high as we pop to the upside. Looking at this area of price action was tested multiple times for a little potential reaction, a little scalp to the downside. For a quick, 50, 60 tick movement. Could probably widen out on take profit stop loss. There it is right here, happening pretty nicely right off the bat. I'm just not quick enough on it. Not quick enough to the jump. Let's say we entered right off of value area high. We can like paper trade it, right? And say, hey, what would this have looked like if you were paying more attention? Right now I'm playing with like a 50 tick take profit and stop loss, which I don't know is amazing to play with in this volatility. But that's what I was looking at right in here. Again, this was the original potential trade as we started to come to the upside. Again, really just playing on this price action, right? Playing on this movement back and forth within price here. You could use a measurement tool, get a feel for how much price is moving by way of ticks and points and consolidating. You can use ATR down here. This can be, again, this can be really difficult to grab onto some consistency, scalping this higher frequency. I don't think it's a great beginner play. Again, it's not primarily what I do. For those of you that hopped on late, for those of you guys that are not usually here, hop in the Discord. I talk a lot about my goals for this year, my goals with prop firms, my goals with sim accounts, how I'm going to spend my time during different times of the market, the different accounts that I'm going to trade. Feel free to check that out. I won't repeat myself, but I do think that context is important. When you hop on and you see somebody doing something, it can be cool to watch, but it's important to know, why are they doing that? What does their skill level and capital allocation really look like? Is that relative to me? Is that relative to what I want to pay attention to and try to emulate maybe, or just take information from? I always wanted to know that stuff. So I try to be really transparent to talk about that. So, yeah, really two for the, I didn't move quick enough. One here for the move back. Oh, sorry. One here for the move back down. One here also for the move back down. Caught the little move to the upside out of this consolidation as we start to push higher. And one here for the move to the downside. So just not quick enough on the draw here for these little scalpy movements. I'm playing with different order types and crap over here. So I'm going to be patient with myself and not really worry too much. But let's see, as we come higher, we got some liquidity to the upside. We continue to drive through it. We came all the way up here. Drove through some orders on the book to the upside. Looks like we want to try it again. Curious to see. Let's see. 1 minute is fun, but too wild for me. Yeah, it's too wild for me also. Good morning. You can also hit enter on your keyboard, same as clicking confirm. It's just quicker. Ooh. Can you, Zach Lazarus? You got the tips today, bro. Are you using Tradeovate with TradingView? Or how is your setup? Yes. This is Tradeovate with TradingView. Or TradingView with Tradeovate. When you're scalping like this, do you tend to use a take profit? I know you leave that open on YM after 9. Yes, Pam. If I'm going to scalp like this really aggressively, I'm going to use a fixed take profit and stop loss. Maybe I go stop loss to break even as we get close to a take profit. But it's really just going for these quick movements within higher time frame price action. And I find it better suited to use a fixed take profit and stop loss. I do like to do that. Oof, news sucked. Yeah. Yeah, okay, all right, let's, now I got some more information. Now we got to play with this again. Now I got to take another trade. I don't have to do anything, but I'm going to. So you're telling me if I go like this and hit enter, will it enter the order? Will it actually enter this order? I'm curious. Or is it only to hit, oh, it's only to hit confirm, I think. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so if I'm in an order and I drag take profit and stop loss around or adjust something, if I hit confirm, that will move it around for us. That's what we figured out here. Grand Rising, what's up, man? What's up? Now you got me enticed. Now I want to take another one. I'm gonna take another short trade here, guys, because I want to play with this. Hang on. All right, I'm in a sell bid +5. I did get filled, so here's what I want to do. If I drag this stop loss down in profit, let me just give it another second. If I drag this stop loss down in profit to go stop loss to break even like this, I can hit the enter button like this. Aha! Zach Lazarus coming with the tips for me, big dog. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. That stop loss to break even way too quick, by the way, guys. But I did want to see that so I could play with this too. If I drag around take profit and stop loss without having to hit like confirm here, you could just hit the enter key. I like that. Very cool. Okay. I mean, that's nice because, like, it's not drag and drop. Like, for example, on Project X, it was drag and drop. Like, as soon as you did this and let go, like, that was it. It was in the new spot. So I do like having the ability to confirm. Here's another question. Maybe someone in chat knows this, right? I don't want to be an idiot here. Is there an exit all and cancel all? Is there an outside of this button right here? Is there an exit and cancel all button, like, you know, separate that I don't know about? Curious. Because I like that button. I like to just smash that button sometimes. Like, you know, you could be in here and, like, you could be like, oh, I want to get rid of the close the order. And then all of a sudden, like, you're like, oh, I get rid of the, you know, I get rid of the stop loss order. But is there a quicker way to get out of everything and cancel everything? I'm curious. That looked like all we wanted to do before we come back and stop me out. I moved my order. No, I didn't. I moved it up, actually. This is supposed to be down here. Oh, it doesn't like that one. How come I can't confirm that? Huh. We're learning. We're learning chat. We're playing around with TradingView today. Well, I'm gonna get taken out for break even here, but interesting. This didn't let me move it around. I don't think you can inside TradingView. I have TradeOvate open on my phone just for the cancel all button. Yeah. So TradeOvate has an exit market and cancel all that you could hit, which I do like, right? Ooh, there's a hotkey for it. Flatten button on the DOM. Oh, hold on. Guys, you got the sauce today, chat. Y'all got the sauce. We're figuring out all the tips and tricks here. So we have a look at that, chat. Look at that. Uh-oh. We got sauce here, guys. We got the sauce. All right, I'm going to have to take another trade. So what I was asking, chat, flatten works. There's not a key for it. Thank you. You see the flatten button? I don't think you can inside of TradingView. Yeah, there you go. No, bro, not aware of it. There we go. Yeah. So just so you guys know, this is the... First off, yeah, we're all learning. I'm always learning. I don't claim to have it all figured out. This space changes so damn quickly. Platforms change so quickly. And also, I'm not primarily trading. I haven't been primarily trading on TradeOvate with TradingView. So I'm not going to be the vet here. Getting more comfortable on it with you guys live. And, going through the stuff that I know about it. Giving you the tips and tricks. And then I'm happy to get, additional tips and tricks, right? There's always another way to do something. Especially with the more advanced platforms. So what we're looking at here is, I asked, is there a exit market and flatten all? Obviously, there's multiple ways to get out of a position, but let's say I'm in another position here. I would prefer not to take an unnecessary loss if I don't have to. I'm going to do it if I have to. If I'm in a position here, is there a exit market and flatten all without having to just close this out completely right here? There is. Flatten's going to cancel everything. Let's see if we can get back towards take profit before I hit flatten. But flatten's going to cancel everything. Reverse is a crazy button to have on there. Cancel all would be obviously just be canceling all active orders. But I wonder if flatten will cancel all also. Okay, I got to try something else, guys. Well, I'm going to do a double whammy here. Let's go for like a buy limit down here for no reason at all. Let's go for a buy limit for no reason down here other than I want to see if this comes off. I don't know that it will. If I hit flatten all right here in profit, it does. So technically this is a flatten and cancel all. This is a flatten and cancel all. Let me do it again. Let me go for a buy limit. Let me not mess it up. Buy limit. And then, even though I don't have an active position, will this take me out? No. Okay, so you got to hit cancel all. You got to hit flatten and cancel all. Okay. Okay. That's still great to know. That's still really great to know, guys. So over here on the order card, what pops up automatically is this, right? This is your traditional order card. Market, limit, stop. You can see the spread. You can see all this different great info. If you come over here, you could hit the DOM. Ooh, you could also hit Shift D. Hotkey. Cool. Or Shift T. Will it do that if I'm just like this? Aha! Nice hotkey for that. Okay, so you got a hotkey to bring this up, and then there is a cancel and flatten all down here. I like that. I like that. Like, maybe, I don't know, something's going wrong. You accidentally have too many orders on the book. You close out of a position, and then you have, like, whatever reason you want to flatten and cancel all. It's kind of like the emergency, like, get out of the trade button. And I like that. I like that without having to, like, try to click on the chart. Like, I like that much better. Here's another question. Is this a join bid and join ask? This isn't a join bid and join ask, is it? No. This is a enter limit orders above and below price. I know that. Very nice. Okay, so that's entering limit orders above and below price right from the DOM. is there a join bid and join ask, or would it just be this? Would it just be limit, you know, at the bid or at the ask? I'm assuming that you could just do it that way. But, you know, kind of cool to just see the other functionality of TradingView. I'm wondering if there's a join bid and join ask. Yep, Shift D for DOM and Shift T for order play. Yeah, awesome. Yep. Flatten cancels all orders and existing. Yep. Yes, flatten should cancel all open and close your position. Yes, it did. What I noticed is if you're not in a position, and I just threw a limit on here to test that out, you would not get taken out. But yeah, as TradingView has, there's so many hotkeys. There's a hotkey for almost everything, which is cool if you're into, like, you know, hotkeys on your keyboard instead of just clicking things. TradingView has a ton of hotkeys, so I like how they just display it if you like, you know, if you like overdo it. Pretty cool. You can change time frames with hotkeys, right? Like for example, like 15M or 15 takes me to 15. Is it D that you have to put for day? Like 1 day? Yeah. And you could just go like that. Pretty cool. Instead of resetting chart, you could Command R, which is nice. Oh, I mean, excuse me. You can Option R for me on Mac. Let's go back to the 1. But what is also pretty cool is they show you hotkeys over here. So like if you hit, you know, something, they show you a lot of things that they have hotkeys for, which is pretty convenient. I like that. I like that, guys. Okay. Yeah, not that bad, TradingView. We got some juice on TradingView. I like this. I like what we see here. Cool. All right, let's get some more scalpy trades going. We're kind of just drifting to the upside. I don't love this for anything. You know, we're not really getting these nice back and forth pullbacks. We now got back above the current value area high, which is now up here. Pushed to the upside. I could see another short play. I don't know how many times I want to take the same stupid trade for for a little scalp back in, but I did want to play with that DOM again. I kind of want to see what the orders look like once I'm on the DOM. Obviously, I don't have level 2 data here. We're not getting any information on an actual actual order book from this DOM, which I'm assuming you can. If you have level 2 data getting fed in. Yeah, but I do gotta say that bid plus and minus is working pretty clean. I'm being a little bit liberal here, like with how far away I'm going with that. You know, you might want to be just like, you know, bid +1 or like at the bid, you know, if you're gonna use this, because obviously I missed one on the front end, just completely moved without me. Also, maybe during higher volatile time where it's not pre-market, you know, bid +5 on NQ will probably get filled, you know, 8 times out of 10. I think we're coming right back down into this, which is what I was getting ready for, but I'm just moving too slow today, and we're playing around with the DOM again, playing around with the order card, which I'm cool with. I want to get comfortable before before we hop on to live account and market open for YM. Longs looking long, nice. Oh, clicked it. Oh, we got sauce. We got sauce. Click the 3 dots next to the DOM, and you can add join bid and join ask. Is it in settings? No, I didn't get that one. I don't have that one. Maybe on the order card? That would be cool. I do like join bid and join ask. I would be lying if I said I don't miss that already. Okay. We're playing around trying to figure out different things you could do on TradingView, what you can and can't do. I don't see a designated join bid, join ask. Again, you can join bid and join ask by going limit with a price, you know, with just bid or ask, right? Or you know, bid +1 or whatever it is that you want to do. So it's not really necessary. I like it for getting out of an order, for example, right? You could also just click on the DOM, but price is moving pretty fast. Like, it could be really quickly. You're gonna try to, you're gonna try to get out of a, a short with a limit buy, and all of a sudden price, trades down here, and now your limit, buy, above price. But you got buy market and sell market. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, let me play with this again, guys. Because what I want to do. See, you gotta. If you're, let me just tell you guys, if you're coming over to another platform, even if you've traded on it before a little bit, but now you're coming off of primarily one platform, load up a demo account, load up paper trading. If you're like me, load up evals and lose some money or make some money, but get comfortable. Learn all the tips and tricks before you're in an account where you're really focused up strictly on trading, and you're hyper focused on trying to make something work. And you're not really able to like play around with anything and kind of figure out, how you want to make things work and what you can and can't use, different tools that could help you out. Like, this was important for me to know. I really am happy I found that out with you guys today. Flatten all, cancel all. That's great. I don't watch the DOM, but to know that, I wish the button was over here, honestly, but just to know that there's a flatten all, cancel all if shit starts to go sideways, or you're like, oh my god, I forgot about news, and I've got limit orders and take profit orders and stop orders all over the place. I was getting ready to scale in. Let me get out, really quickly. You got like the emergency, like, oh crap button, rather than trying to click in, cancel order, confirm. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So anyway, let's watch the market here. We're kind of just grinding higher. We're getting ready for market open. 9:07 a.m. Eastern today. Also, we got a ton of people on here, guys. Guys, I said it was going to be Tuesday. We got something big coming tomorrow. I don't like to be that guy. Was supposed to have a special guest on stream today. I have my evil hands here. I have a special guest coming on stream tomorrow. I'm expecting one of the founders of Top 1 Futures to be on stream live with me tomorrow. Again, apologies for it not being today. But I'm happy to announce we should have him on stream tomorrow. If you are looking for an awesome deal at Top 1 Futures, maybe a free account, maybe some discounts, I don't know. I think we're going to have something pretty big on stream tomorrow. I would not miss tomorrow, right around market open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Should be hopping on live with Clay from Top 1 Futures. He's been on the show before. You guys, if you've been on, when he's been on my stream before, we went crazy with giveaways and all that crazy stuff. So make sure you don't miss that one. I will be on here, guys, just so you know. I'm reading some questions in the chat. I will be on here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, 7:30 a.m. Eastern start time, like I was today, all the way through NYSE Open, like I'm doing today. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we should have special guests joining and have some fun stuff going on. So probably not going to want to miss that one. But guys, now that I'm realizing we are 20 minutes away from the open, let me go ahead and take a quick break. I'm not technically going anywhere. I will be right back with you guys. Stay tuned. We got some fun stuff coming up. Not only trading right into the open, but also a giveaway. Giveaway coming. Be back with you guys pretty soon here. Back in action with you guys. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Damn, come on. Gotta turn this little thing off. Headphones on. Chat, how we doing, man? How we doing? Coming into 9:30. Coming into 9:30. All right, man. We're sitting here on NQ. We scalped a little bit. We went 2-0 this morning on a couple little scalps. Nothing too crazy. I think we went 2-0, or did we go 1-1 stop loss? I'm gonna have to double check on that one. Let's see, chat. What do we got going on here, guys? You guys, long from 7:38. Awesome, man. Awesome. You're worth it all by yourself, even without the guests. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Market opens at what time? 9:30 a.m. Yes. Oh man, I also learned today. Thanks. Yeah. We're okay. If you guys hopped on late, I see we got a bunch of people on stream across socials. I appreciate you guys hopping on, man. Ton of people on. Thank you. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. We're here pretty much every damn day streaming live. If you want to stay up on the schedule, hop in the 100% free trading Discord. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, I'm going to throw the link in the chat. Current deal right now is up on the screen. I'm going to plug these guys real quick. Up on the screen right here, we got current deal with Top 1, my preferred prop firm, especially for instant funding. They are 50% off of all Ignite and Straight to Sim funded pro accounts. Running that bad boy right now. Code RDF, always going to get you the best deal, better than the email, the website, the Discord, anywhere that you find. Shout out Top 1 Futures. Remember, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Chat. Zach, I could be really behind here, but have you heard the Top Step update with live accounts? Yes, Tom. And you are behind, but it's okay. If you want, I put I probably have like 10 minutes of voice messages in the main Discord, which is pinned to the top of the chat, and I think you're in there as well. I also, at the beginning of this stream, when I hopped on, I talked about it for probably 15 minutes, so I won't go back through it, but I did talk about all of the changes that we're seeing at prop firms. This is a very, very quick change as far as what we're seeing for the futures prop trading space, specifically with Top Step. Chop Step, whatever I was about to say there, specifically with Top Step. Again, not here to throw stones, not here to talk about drama or negative or engagement or rigid. I don't care about any of that stuff. I have to speak positively and hype myself up on everything and you guys up on everything, but also where good opportunities exist and where they don't exist, when things change, you know, and how that affects where we want to place risk or not place risk, right? Opportunities with prop firms, good and bad, changing for the better and for the worse. I'm going to try to talk about that. Remember, I'm biased. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. Most people don't repeat that the way that I do. I think it's really important, really, really important for you to understand that. You know, I cannot be unbiased. I try to be down the middle, try to shoot from the hip. Be honest with you guys. I think you can usually judge that based on the way a person talks about different things that they're not partnered and affiliated with, versus what they are. You know, how things play out with them over time. It's pretty easy to see, you know, who's just bought and paid for and only cares about collecting a check, and who actually has half a brain on their shoulders and, you know, is going to try to speak truthfully about things. And as unbiasedly as they can, but that's up for you to decide. So, but yeah, if you want to go back through in Discord, I posted a bunch, and then I talked about it on the live stream, man. Be cautious. Be extremely cautious, guys. Huge changes that are coming faster and faster and faster at different firms. Be very cautious of that. I kind of want a little short if we pop these 25 400s. That's kind of what I was looking at here. If we pop through these 25 400s where we got quite a bit of liquidity, I almost want to front run it, because I don't know if we pop it. We came all the way up, trading into the high end of this choppiness from current pre-market session. I'm tempted on a little short ski. Keep playing with my bid plus, see what we could do. If we pull right back down and retest it, this would be it right here. I don't know that we don't do this first. 9:18 a.m. Yeah, it could be running something into the open if I try something like this. We gonna go and pop those 100 orders? Could get a rocket candle through it. That could be dangerous to short, but I might front run it since we're struggling up here. You know what? Let's play with market for this next one, and let's see how the fill looks. I tested some of the bid and you know, bid plus and everything. I want to see how the market order fills. Right? I'm looking at it jump all over the place relative to how this candle is printing. I'm curious to see how the market order fills on this one. So let's use a market order with a little scalpy trade that I'm getting ready to take. I might front run this, but it looks like buyers want to take this up. Looks like we want to come through these 400s. You know what? There's the pullback coming. We're going to dip first. Yeah, I'll see if I can take another one here on NQ before market opens up, and then I'll be focusing on the Top 1 Futures live account here on Tradeovate and TradingView as well. Top Step have put an announcement on Discord, have forwarded to the main chat. Yeah, guys, there, you know, head to the sites as always. Head to the, you know, the Discords to get the most updated information for each individual firm. That's important to know. Wasn't there a live with the CEO of Top 1 Futures today? Not today. I talked about that. Yeah, I was supposed to have Clay on potentially today. Tomorrow, guys. If you are waiting for that, tomorrow. I know I said today, so apologies. Tomorrow, big stream. Not going to want to miss it. I'll be on early. He'll be on about 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Hop on stream. We got some fun stuff coming on that one, man. Got some fun stuff coming on that one. Yeah, my bad, Tyler Times. I saw someone else ask a question. I missed one earlier. Hang on one second. Zach, so when you started trading, did you have any other income? How did you fund your trading journey? Yes. Beastie, let me see if I can throw this in chat. Hang on one second. I have a number of interviews. I have a number of podcasts, but you know what? I'm not going to waste too much time because now I'm seeing this pop to the upside. If you want to get my full trading journey, story, you're interested in hearing that, get some perspective on where I came from, where I started, what I was doing before trading, how I did come to trading with money. And I was working another career that I was in for multiple years after graduating college. Watch the ASFX podcast. I have 2 with him. The first one that I did from like probably a year and a half ago at this point, maybe almost 2 years ago. I talk a lot about that, right? I kind of go through where I was at that point, because it was a while ago. But I talk a lot about, what I was doing before trading, coming to trading with money, right? Trading live accounts, all these types of things. But to answer that question really quickly, yes, I was working full time in a career that was paying me very well, at that point for me, relative to how old I am and what I think is very well, was paying me very well. And I had saved a whole bunch of money. I was trading with money that I could stand to lose. I funded live personal accounts. And I lost a lot of money for many years doing that. And as I started to gain more consistency, and even after I started to gain a lot of consistency and said, hey, I want to make a run at this, full time. I want to make a run at, which I don't like that term anymore. I want to make a run at this primarily as my focus day in and day out. I saved a lot of money. I put a big savings together outside of even my capital for live trading, right? Which I think is super important to do. I don't want to say you don't stand a chance, because a lot of guys have told me they've traded with their back against the wall and they've made it work. Yeah, man, I want this short, but I don't know that I want to fade this level up here. I would take it if that wasn't there. If we get a quick pop up here, I'm probably going to take it. Take a little short back down, not to just talk too much outside of the markets. But we're going to get ready for 9:30 a.m. and I'm going to hop back over to a Top 1 Futures live account. See if we can take one more, play with a market order here on NQ and see how it fills. But yeah, so here's my thoughts on that. All right, here's my thoughts on that, guys. Just a quick overview. Just the quick overview. Number 1, trading is hard. Welcome to the show. Trading's very difficult. It could be very simple, the way that I talk about it being extremely simple, but it's difficult. It's a long road. It's a high-paying career, a profession. Why would it be easy? It's not. It's incredibly difficult. So it's going to take you a long time to start to maybe even figure out if you're ever going to be able to grab onto consistency, right? You should be working. You should be working an outside job. You should have outside income. As you start to gain consistency, and then maybe whatever you say what that day is that you cross the bridge to profitability, because it never really comes. There's never a day where you just flip it over and I'm profitable. I make all the money in the world now. Yeah, if you wait for that, you're going to be waiting for forever. But you start to grab some consistency, right? You start to get break even. You start to turn a little profit. All of a sudden, you're making more money than you're losing, week over week, month over month. All that stuff is great. I think one of the best situations you can keep yourself in is, as I get ready to short this pop, is with outside income. You will be able to not only have low pressure because you have outside income coming in, bills are paid, you're not relying on trading. You're able to continue to fund and amplify your progression, right? This is not my quote, but this was laid out to me, and I really like the way that this one sounded, and the analogy. Trading is not a money printer. The way that people talk about it, we joke about it. Everybody says money printer, this and that. Trading is not a money printer. It's a money multiplier. It takes money to make money. The more money you have from outside income, from outside sources, whether that's a full-time job, a 9-to-5, multiple W-2s coming in, whether that's real estate, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's creating content that you see me doing right here. I have multiple sources of income outside of just trading itself. And then within trading, I have multiple sources of income, right? The more you can do that, the more money you can have to scale, the more money you can have to progress quicker. Because, again, prop firms, you could use them as leverage. Live accounts, you could, leverage live accounts. You could do so many different things. Trading is a money multiplier or a money divider, right? Because it's going to take it away from you. Risk is there. But it's not a money printer. It doesn't come from thin air. And if you're starting with $10 to trade with in a prop account or a live account, you're going to be that much farther behind somebody that's starting with $100,000 or $500,000, right? So, it's always easy to say, oh, get a lot of money and then come to trading. I understand everybody's in different spots. It takes money to make money here, guys. Props help, right? The tools that we have available help, but that holds true, right? The guys that are putting up the biggest number in prop firms, they're spending the most with prop firms. There's oftentimes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Sorry to break it to you if you don't know that. So keep an outside source of income. I also think, like I started with real quick before we get ready to hop over for NYSE Open, I also think that putting yourself in a situation where you don't have a lot of money and you need trading to work and you need to make money trading, you're putting yourself at such a severe disadvantage against the version of you that doesn't need to make money from trading, that's happy, with the money they have. Their bills are paid. They're trading with money they stand to lose. They're risk-free in that type of sense. And then even then, it's really hard. Like, it's really difficult then, so that's who you're up against, right? That's who you're up against. Try to put yourself in that situation, because then maybe you stand a chance to start making some money. You put yourself in a situation where you don't have outside income, or you're trying to build from the bottom with trading. It's like, dude, it's such a nightmare situation to be in. I would not recommend that to anybody. So that's my answer on that, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and hop over here. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to throw my graphic up on the screen. I'm going to load back up my top 1 futures live account. As we get ready for market open. But yeah, I'm happy to talk more about that. I know we've been really heavy on the platform, on the trading itself. If you're new to my show, it's not always what I'm talking about. I'm usually talking about psychology, mindset, the trading journey itself. So, bear with me on the way we're yapping today. But those are great questions, really important stuff to think about. All right, we are back, loaded up. This is my top 1 futures, 15K pre-live account to be exact, that I've been in for months now. First trades ready to be taken on Tradeovate and TradingView. I am also going to log into Tradeovate as we get ready for market open here in about 30 seconds. Structure your risk and trade well, guys. Cool. Just like I was doing before, I do want to be logged in. Here we go. Market opening up to the upside here, cracking these highs in YM. Just to start taking a look at what this looks like with my normal 200-point stop loss, 200-point take profit. Cracking all-time highs here. Cracking all-time highs. I'm tempted to fade this right back in. Tempted to fade this right back in above yesterday's high. Not going to do anything just yet, guys, but I am curious to see what we get out of this market here right into the open. We sold off pretty aggressively. We did trade around yesterday's volume, point of control, Friday's volume, point of control. Tested these lows here, really taking off like a rocket. My first trade, you guys know for the most part, is a mean reversion style trade right above prior day high. I don't have too much to the upside to look at here. And I don't know that I want to get cooked fading all-time highs. But this is somewhat valid. Yes, it's a little bit aggressive though. This is a wee bit aggressive. Waiting to see if we find some resistance around those 50,500s. Let's play around with a bid plus. I don't have much to work with to the upside here, guys, outside of no take profit needed on this one on YM. Don't have much to work with outside of this big round psychological number up here. I don't know that I want to fade this. It's an aggressive pop to the upside. Man, I think I'm gonna have to though. Just taking a look at order flow on all three of these across the board. Taking a look at the range that we put in so far. Yeah, this is tight, man. We got a lot of room to go. We could rip higher. I think we come right back down, and I think I'm just gonna watch myself hesitate and miss this one. Maybe not being logged in quick enough and hopping over to be ready for it right off of the open. 9:32 a.m. Eastern. This is a little aggressive. Here's really what I was watching as we started to come higher here. That level right there, right? Big round psychological number. We're at all-time highs. I don't have much to work with looking, left, obviously, right? There's nothing else up here. You could start to look at round psychological numbers. You could use Fibonacci tools. You could use, whatever you want, pivot points, like random stuff. I start to use order flow and big round psychological numbers first if I'm gonna try. I'm going to try to find an area. We got a little bit sitting up here, kind of getting overlaid by some of this algo noise that we see here on Bookmap. But I'm interested up there. If we revert really, really aggressively right back down to VWAP, right back down to the top end of this, I will be obviously missing the trade, but wanted to see if we started to find some resistance around the 50,500s. We didn't quite hit that just yet. Yeah, I'm going to leave this off because I don't like looking at it until I'm ready. Let's see, chat. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Markets opened up. We're gonna get some live trading in here. We'll see if we can't get aggressive off the open. I think we come right back down to VWAP on this. I think we trade 200 points lower, and it plays just not really enough to go off of up here, man. You can trade price action on a really low time frame, right? The first break of like a 1 minute prior bar low to the downside with a stop above. You could pull some crap like that. I'm going to use order flow and, larger round psychological numbers to try to give me some structure to trade off of. That was the 50,500s that I was looking for. We found sellers right before that. And we have traded so far like 120 points to the downside here. Let's see. Your fishing sesh looks sick on the IG. Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. Down in the Keys, fishing with my father this past weekend, and then a whole bunch of other random stuff that we were doing. Little family trip, man. Me and my pop's birthday are a day apart, which is awesome. He's almost 70, and I am extremely grateful to be in a place where I can fly him down to Florida to book fishing charters and go out fishing, deep sea fishing, something we wanted to do for damn near forever. And then run around all over the place eating lobsters and the fish that we caught, and having some fun, man. So I'm very grateful to be able to do that. So if you want to check that out, more personal life stuff, IG story, I usually throw it on there. My bad, guys. Killed music here. There we go. Run this back. Yes, for sure. Looking so until it doesn't. Looking so bullish. Yeah, looking bullish until it doesn't. Stressful. Let's make them money. I do 1099 deliveries to fund my trading. Nice. There you go. I know what I meant to ask you. On the Brian Shannon podcast, there was a hint at a story about you in the casino last year. Probably just me playing Baccarat, having fun, fun playing Baccarat in the casino. We went to Tampa last year and had a blast. So there's a Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. And if you want to have a lot of fun after making money trading, losing your money, because in my humble biased opinion, table games like that, like, you know, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Baccarat, roulette, ace, blackjack, they have an edge in the casino's favor. All of them have a small, very small, but ever-present edge in the casino's favor. And it's against the gambler, right? So you don't really want to make, I don't think, a career out of that. Maybe poker, right? Maybe playing poker, you could be a professional poker player, unless you're going to count cards or something. But it's fun. It's fun nonetheless, right? It's a good demonstration of what you want to do and what not to do. But I'm sure we'll go to the casino again in Tampa this year. We'll have some fun. Yeah, last year, last year I got taught how to play, I think that's how you say it. I got taught how to play Baccarat, which is a really simple game if you're going to play it in the simple, like, close to 50-50 way. So I was hanging out with some of the other guys playing that for a while. It was fun. Pop to the upside, sold back off. It looked like we were gonna try this again. It looked like we were gonna try this. I would have taken it. I'm still interested if we crack these highs real quick on a little reversion play back down to VWAP. If we just sell right back off, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it. Beastie, I answered that question. When you started your trading journey, did you have other income? How did you fund your trading journey? All right, I answered that question for you, brother. We talked a little bit about it. But I also mentioned that if you want to find out all more information, like you just want to hear me yap about my trading journey and some of the history and stuff, I got a bunch of podcasts. I have 2 individual podcasts with ASFX. I have a roundtable with ASFX. I have a Boris Schlossberg interview. I have a Traders Post interview. You know, they're all about an hour long or so. You could watch any one of those, and I go into detail on a lot of that stuff. I also talked a little bit about it on this live stream, but this way so I don't get so repetitive. How much for a fishing charter? Ooh, they were a little bit, my brother. They were a little bit. Private fishing charter in the Keys, the deep sea fishing capital of the world, the Florida Keys, all the way down. Once you go past Miami, you come over and you run all the way down to maybe like Isla Mirada or Marathon. The good ones, you'll be right under $2,000 to book it, and then you're expected to tip like 20 to 30% if they get you out there, get you on fish, they clean your fish. Right around that $2,000 mark, underneath that. Depends on how long you go for. Depends on what you're going for. We went for like 3/4 days, like 6-hour days, which is pretty cool. You could go out there for like 12 hours, go sail fishing for 12 hours. That'll run you a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, relative to what you get, which is really cool, it's reasonable. Not to go completely off on about fishing, man, but it was awesome. It was super awesome. We got complete. So we did a. No, I won't go off on it, guys. Yeah, I'll yap about it in Discord or something. I'll yap about it on Discord. I want to watch this market, and I want to try to talk trading, or at least something I can relate back to trading. 50,000, 434s, 440s. I don't know that we go and crack these 50,500s. Only 10 minutes in. Yeah, we're okay. If we get this, guys, I'm gonna short it. If we get this, I'm gonna short it. This is aggressive, right? Someone said it looks bullish. I would agree, right? This is a bullish move. I am aggressively fading this movement. Because I'm looking for that mean reversion. My thesis is that maybe we trend to the upside today. Maybe we put a bullish day in. Maybe we do go higher. But my thesis is that we pull back. My thesis is that we sell off by 200 or so points. And it gives me a way to take a W on this. So I'm looking to short this right now. It looks like we are not going to crack this. Damn, bro, we can't even hit it? Can't even hit the 50,000s? Oh, that might have been it. That felt like it. That felt like it. Am I going to be late to the draw on this one? I am. Right into the 50,500s and liquidity getting pulled. I'm going to fade this thing, guys. Give me a little bit more of a pop back up.
Order rejected.
That sucks. I can't even get short? What happened here? Well, now I'm missing my trade because that was the first trade that I'm trying to take on this Top 1 Futures Live account. That felt like it. That felt like it. Hang on, guys. Let me see what's up. Hang on one second. What the hell? Well, now I'm missing my entry. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna try to